What's going on, people? Welcome again to the C Suit podcast where we talk about all things sports. Today, we're back again with the football show. We're gonna be discussing Arsenal. Since the season started, Arsenal were kind of like on a poor form of run. They were close to the relegation zone. They weren't really winning games. They weren't scoring goals. Surprisingly. So over the past few weeks, things have kind of got better. I'm joining the show with Taye and Ola. What changes Arteta made over the past few weeks? They're playing better football. They're more attack. They're inconsistent goals. So we just want to see like as Arteta done anything differently. Ozil, he left to Fenerbahce at the start of the transfer window. So we talk about like did Arsenal treat him right? Just the way he ended. To me, from the outside looking in, I didn't like the fact that he was left out of the squad. He wasn't really training with the first team. Did he deserve to go that way? Did he deserve to be seen as the Arsenal fall guy basically? And also Arsenal signing Willian from Chelsea. I personally liked Willian a lot when he played for Chelsea. I thought he was a good player. He was a good winger. He scored some important goals from Chelsea. But ever since he came to Arsenal, he's just been a weird player. He's not really putting effort. He's just not really trying. You can see in his game as well. To me, I don't feel like he wants to be there. So we talk about like what's going on with him. What's the issue with him? Can Arteta get the best out of him eventually? The three of us also pick out any prediction for the top four. Is it gonna be Chelsea? Is it gonna be can Arsenal make a run later on? Man United, even Leicester, Jose Mourinho, I suppose. Can they make the top four this season? I'm Victor, your host. Enjoy the show. Arsenal change. What's changed? Tell me.
To be honest, in terms of from where we were at the start of the season, when we were all saying we're like now, I can't really say too much. And because we did a podcast on this, I don't know what was going on back then. What has changed? I know, okay, Partey is back, but at the same time, I feel like there isn't much difference. The team is just a bit more confident. Okay, granted, he's taking out some players, and Willian isn't really playing as much. Still, or just overall, I can't really say why we had that slump and why we're in this position. What I can say is that the whole league has been consistent.
Yeah.
We were fighting relegation. Chelsea were challenging. Now Lampard's gone. Man City were out of the title race. Now they're back in. United were not going to make it. United were going to make top four, but they weren't going to win the title. And now everyone's saying they could win the title. So I put it down to just more of the league just being very inconsistent as opposed to anything else.
Like in terms of the lineup, like he's brought in Smith Rowe, and have you seen has he changed much for your team? Like, what do you think about him?
I think we've gone creativity, which is good. He's not Ozil. I mean, he wouldn't be. But at the same time, we've also brought in this guy, Odegaard, I believe is his name. Yeah. And if you ask me at the start of the season, what position do I see Arsenal come in? I would have said top four.
Nah, man.
At the start of the season, to me, I would say top four because I'm looking at Man United. I'm thinking, nope. I'm looking at Spurs. I'm thinking, okay, they got Harry Kane and so on. Nope. I'm looking at Chelsea and I'm thinking, okay, they have players. But now I really can't. I can't say anything. Like we're not getting top four. That's pretty much that, unless something crazy happens, which I do think is possible. But I think I'm happy with what Arteta has done. The only different, the one thing I will say is that we gave him because everyone's saying sack him, but the board back then he's turned things around. I don't know if that happened if for Chelsea, like if the board kept Lampard in the job, will he have turned things around? I actually think Arteta's a good coach. It was just a word slump, but I can't really explain it.
Would you have signed any other players during this transfer window though to actually maybe improve the team? Do you guys need like a midfielder, like a wingers? Willian, like I'm not sure what happened to him. It's just Pepe, I personally still believe he can come good, but he's not maybe used properly or maybe just lacking confidence. Would you have signed any other players like just to maybe push a bit further, maybe to get top four?
It's a tough one because I don't know what Arsenal necessarily. I don't know what their budget is because you've signed Willian and you have him on crazy money. You have Pepe, which you paid 70 million for. Do you sign another winger and give up on him? You know what I mean? I don't know how we're gonna prioritize. Like if we have 40 million to spend, like where do we put that? Defense, midfield, attacking. Aubameyang is obviously Aubameyang is starting to score again, but at the same time he wasn't scoring at the start of the season. So the thing about Arsenal is that everything just comes down to money, how the club deals with its finances. I would have liked a new winger because I don't think Pepe is doing it right now. But I don't know if you buy a new winger and that budget gone for that, then what if Pepe starts to perform?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a very tricky one with Arsenal, to be honest. I don't really. This season is just I'm just watching exactly what happens and to see who's actually going to perform. I think this is a very do or done season. So any player who does from this season, okay, you can go now. Because at this point in time, like okay, let's go Bellerin for example. Now he's been in Arsenal for years since he was a kid. So when Arteta takes over and he performs and then he doesn't perform again and then he becomes inconsistent, I think this is the season where we say what's going to happen with this guy now. Like he can't keep fluctuating. So if he performs this season, keep him. If he doesn't, just get rid of him at this point. And I don't mean consistent. Okay, towards the end of the season he starts to play well. If he's fluctuating, even if he has a good performance at the end of the season, the middle, if he's inconsistent, I think you get rid of him, and then we can have a better idea of what positions we need to fill up.
So now, what's your expectations like? Do you think maybe top six? I personally don't think Arsenal get top four. So do you think maybe top six, top seven? Or would you be happy with that as an Arsenal fan? Just given like what happened this season already.
Listen, after everything that was happening, I was thinking the cup was all we could get, and then we got kicked out of that. So at this point in time, I don't really know. There is no. I can't really say I would be happy with anything. I think everything is gone. I think it's done. I think this is just a season. It's just a write-off season. This was the season that I wanted to get back into the Champions League. That's not happening anymore. So I don't really have anything to say. I just think this is Arteta's season just to play good football, stamp your authority on this team. Somehow try to get Willian the hell out of the team. Sell him or something. Do something anyway. Like get rid of all these bad players.
You guys give him a 3-year contract, right?
Just something like that, yeah. And we put him on crazy money. He's not going anywhere because no one's gonna pay that money.
Yeah, definitely.
No one's gonna. We're pretty much stuck with him. And I really got to question the buys as well then, because okay, I didn't think Willian was such a bad buy. I didn't even think it was a bad buy at all. But for some reason, he's just not performing. I have no idea why. I have no idea why the team wasn't, fighting relegation at the start of the season. I really don't know what's going on with that team, and I think it's something for Arteta to try to sort out. He has gotten rid of Ozil, so a lot of finances for the team is available now. And I'm hoping he can get the right players he wants.
Ozil's situation, now he's gone. So what do you think about like the way he was treated by the club?
He was treated horribly, but I think you have to look at it in two ways. Yeah, from a player perspective, I would support Ozil 100%, and from a fan perspective. But at the same time, then the question is, where's your loyalty to the player or to the club? Because like I said, if Arsenal has a budget of 30 million and we need players, and if we get rid of Ozil, that budget goes to like let's say 50 million or whatever. If we get rid of all these players that aren't really needed on high wages, if that budget goes up to 60 million, well, you got to do everything. You got to do everything for the club. If you understand what I'm trying to say, we have so much more money now that Ozil's gone.
Yeah.
So what I wasn't happy with the way they treated him, and I completely agree with Ozil in this sense. A part of me understands why Arsenal did it.
Yeah, I get why he did it, but the way it was done though, that's why I don't agree with. Like, what I'm saying, just the way he was left out of squad at the start of the season, the way like wasn't retraining the first team. Ozil did stuff for Arsenal, like you won 2 FA Cups for Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? So the way there's some things you just don't do. Like, what I'm saying, you don't do that to us.
There's certain things you don't do as a club. You don't want to because it hurts your image. But at the same time, Ozil's gone. Yeah, who's still talking about? No one is talking about Arsenal. Everyone's like completely moved on from this topic. So I do 100% agree. Sometimes if you have to kind of take a step forward and do some crazy things to get your way, and if it works, then it works. I'm instantly thinking about the whole James Harden situation in the NBA. It worked. Everything he said and did worked to get what he wanted. Arsenal wanted to get rid of Ozil. They did. I didn't even think he was gonna go. I thought Ozil was gonna, I thought he was gonna stand still and say, I ain't going nowhere. You're gonna have me for another season. But they got rid of him in January, which opened up funds to buy more players. So Arsenal, that's a win. Like, it wasn't even like a cut deal of like, okay, we'll pay you half of your wages now. It was more like, no, he just goes. So from an Arsenal perspective, from an Arsenal Football Club perspective, that's the best situation. For Ozil, it's the worst. From a fan perspective, you hate the way they treated a player like Ozil, who brought so much to the club.
As an Arsenal fan, are you not wondering why for the last 9-10 months your best player hasn't played a single minute for your team? Is that a question you've been asking?
Well, a lot of fans will say Ozil's not the best player and they actually want him gone. Ozil's a very decisive, divisive player, I should say. Not everyone likes him. Some of us do. I think he's an amazing player. I think he should play. I think he should still be in the Arsenal.
So are you not looking at that league table like, well, if we add Ozil, we'd be able to achieve a Champions League goal this year? Is that not something you're considering? Like,
I think if Ozil was in the team, would be in a much better position. But the Arsenal Football Club will turn around and say, yeah, but for 350k a week, the position doesn't meet up. For that money that we're paying you should take us from 12 to like we should be where Man United is.
Well, you've been paying him that anyway. You've been paying him to sit on the couch and tweet while you're playing games.
Yeah, but this was to get rid of him.
Yeah, so I have no issues with selling the guy and getting rid of him. But actually, you know what's funny? If you actually let him, if he was actually playing, you would have got more for him. You could have got like at least 10 million.
No, because he wouldn't have left. No matter what happened, No matter what happened, Ozil was not gonna. If Ozil was playing, for half the season, and then in January we're like, okay, Ozil, you need to go. He's gonna do exactly what he did at the start of the season. He's gonna wait it out.
I don't quite agree with that. I think even if he's playing like FA Cups or like Europa League games, I think you get maybe you get something more from him, and maybe you shift him quicker. Because
I don't really.
The thing is, if people actually saw Ozil playing well, they saw him playing, they saw 90 minutes every 2 weeks of Ozil playing, albeit against shit teams. You might get a club in America bidding 5 million for him. You might get a club in I think Fenerbahce. Is it Fenerbahce he went to?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's funny. That's correct.
They might willing to pay 5 million for him. But I think what happened was actually you let him go so that someone else would take on his wages as opposed to getting any actual compensation.
Yeah, but you see, I think that's what Arsenal need to do now because even Socrates, all these players were just canceling contracts, and I think it's gone to the point where Arsenal wanted some type of fee. But then the question you gotta ask is Ozil going to leave in January if he's been playing in October, November, December? He's not going anywhere. Really don't think he's gonna go anywhere, and he's gonna demand those wages. The only reason why he left is because he was stressed as hell. He's thinking, I need to play football. All this money is great, but I need to play football. If he's been playing football, he doesn't feel that way. No team's gonna want to take on his wages, especially when Arsenal are asking. I mean, it's the same with Gareth Bale as well. Real Madrid were in negotiations. They wanted money for Gareth Bale, but it just wasn't good because no one's gonna pay a transfer fee and then pay his wages. Same thing for Mustafi. There were some clubs who wanted him, and Mustafi, and I think some clubs were saying, okay, fine, we'll pay like maybe a couple of million for him. But Arsenal was saying, no, we want more. But they were saying, so you want more, and then you want to his wages as well. It just wasn't gonna happen in that way. So I do think Ozil needed to be shunned for him to leave. I don't agree with it. I think he should be in the team still, and I think the team is better with him. But Arteta clearly thinks different. I don't think the board thinks different. I just think they hate him. So it's a different story there.
So attacking wise then, so what's your starting lineup? So what maybe 3-4 players would you be playing the midfield, attacking midfield and striking position?
Man, at the start of the season, it would have been Aubameyang up front. It would have been Pepe. And for that right part, I wasn't too sure, but I was thinking maybe Willian can do it. But everything has just changed now. So now I really couldn't even tell you what's the best. Pepe isn't going to be in that lineup. I think the last game he played was disastrous. So we're going to have Smith Rowe behind Aubameyang.
Okay.
I'll say Saka.
Okay, yeah, he is a good player.
Or in the sense as well, you could also say Aubameyang on the wing, Saka on the other wing, and Lacazette up front. Lacazette doesn't score goals, but he does do certain things. He holds up the ball. He puts pressure on players. He's similar to Giroud in that sense. That there actually been a difference is that like Giroud just a better overall player than Lacazette, which is crazy because when we bought Lacazette, he was supposed to be the one, the level up. But Giroud is just overall better now, and it's kind of every fan can see. Like that's why he's Chelsea's best striker. Yeah. So I really couldn't tell you what Arsenal's striking force would be because they're also inconsistent. That like this week I tell you names, and 2 weeks later I'm telling you a different name. I have no idea. Even like when it comes to the midfield is a bit kind of say Partey's gonna be there, Xhaka will be there I think as well. Yeah. And Smith Rowe will be there I think as well. But now with this new guy coming through, Odegaard, I think he might take Smith Rowe's position, and then maybe Arteta might think about putting Smith Rowe on the wing as well. I'm not too sure what he's gonna do.
Ola, what happened to Willian actually? Because obviously you guys had him at Chelsea for like a few seasons. Like what went wrong with Arsenal right now? Like
it's hard to say what's gone wrong. I think naturally he's getting older, and players like Willian that maybe have like pace is a strong part of their game, and it's gonna be a problem. That's number one. Number two, it's just at Chelsea maybe he was more comfortable. He's kind of grew up at Chelsea, like not grew up, but like he's been at Chelsea a while. So maybe he just doesn't have that same kind of level of buy-in, and obviously no fans in the stand. Like I that's not even an excuse. I don't know what's gone wrong with him. But like maybe he's just getting old. Like father time gets also, So maybe he's just generally getting old. It's a bit slower, and vendors kind of know what to expect. That year he also got sacked the second time. Like Willian was one of our best players, Yeah. And like even when other players are playing badly, it's usually the one that goes out there and runs and scores, gets free kicks, gets assists, plays with passion. But I can't see that. I can't see that at Arsenal at all. I can't. It doesn't look like the same player.
When the whole team was playing bad, you could almost give Willian a pass as well. Okay, the whole team is just playing crap and we're just losing games. But now that if you really just look at him, he's one of the reasons why we were actually like in such a slump as well. I'm not saying he's the main reason, but a few players were, and he's there. And now that we're playing better, and when he gets his chance, he still plays the same way. He plays like he's uninterested. He plays like he's depressed. He's unhappy. I really just don't understand.
Yeah, it looks really really down.
Like is he thinking like, oh, this was such a bad deal. I shouldn't have left Chelsea or something. But you're getting so much money. Like play, damn it. Like he pisses me off when I think about it.
If he wanted to stay at Chelsea, he could have stayed. Chelsea were going to give him a 1-year deal. So he got 3 years at Arsenal, 1 year at Chelsea. So like it's not like he wanted to stay. If he wanted to stay at Chelsea, he could have stayed another year. And obviously if he played well this year, Chelsea would give him another year.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I don't think as a player of that age that's sustainable.
He wanted that security, and then now he's got that security, maybe he just doesn't have that motivation anymore. I'm sure I wonder is there a bit to it where he's like, well, I hated this guy's like 10 months ago. Now I'm their player, and I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care if they win or lose. And then there's that bit to it where you feel the fans kind of welcome you.
Yeah.
And he hasn't had that connection with Arsenal yet. While for Chelsea, like Chelsea fans, even when they kind of booed him and gave out to him and stuff like that, he's still like the good times is still there in the back of your mind. I don't know. It's just not. But I agree with you. It's just not good enough from Willian for Arsenal.
Yeah, for whatever he's given on the pitch right now, he's a better player. Like, forget about pace, forget about old age or whatever. He's a better player than what he's shown right now. I don't know why he doesn't want to show it.
Yeah.
He's actually apparently he's on there's a lot of bonuses for him too. If he plays a particular way, if he does certain things, that should be motivation enough. But for some reason, he's just not showing it.
Yeah, I think maybe he's just content. He's like, look, I got 3 years here. I didn't have to move out. I could stay in my house in London.
Exactly.
Everything's Gucci. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Okay. Top 4. Like currently, what teams do you guys think will make top 4?
If you ask us this in 3 weeks' time, it might be a whole completely different answer. But I think the two usual suspects, Liverpool and Man City, will be there.
So you think Liverpool are gonna win the league?
I don't really know. I think they will. I think they have a better chance than United for sure. I think they have too much firepower. Like they can outscore a lot of teams. Is Alisson back as well?
Yes, back. Yeah, he's back.
I think Liverpool are still favorites, to be honest. I can't see Man United being seen as favorite. I mean, they're doing well, but anything can happen at this point in time. I don't know if they have the consistency to it. Like, I mean, let's not forget this. Yeah, Arsenal. I can't remember which season it was, but there was a season where Arsenal were on top of the league for most of the season. I think February they just crashed and it came like fourth once again. So I do feel just Man City and Liverpool have that. They have the players to do it. United, I'm just not too sure on them, but I could put them third, fourth place. I think Jose is doing well enough for Spurs. I don't really see it, but I think Leicester could take that. It's a tricky one, to be honest. I couldn't really pinpoint who's gonna be. I can say for top 2, yes, Liverpool and Man City probably be there, but everyone else I'm not too sure.
What about you, Ola? Top 4?
I've had a while to think about it while I was talking. I'm gonna say Man City, Liverpool, United, and Chelsea.
Oh, okay, Chelsea.
I think Chelsea, and if Chelsea don't make it, it'll be Spurs. What's yours, Vic?
I would say Liverpool, Man City. I would probably say Spurs. I think Spurs will come third. Like, I think Jose is just gonna find a way. Chelsea will do it. I don't want my to come forward.
I was gonna say that right there. Yeah, is this what you think will happen or what you want to happen?
No, this is what I think will happen, because I don't feel like Man U will. I just think something will go wrong. So yeah,
I'm with you in the sense that for you thinking about Ole, because even if he doesn't win the title, if he gets top 4, he probably gets another season.
Exactly.
Now, with that being said, if he doesn't get top 4, then you get rid of him. Perfect, you're happy.
Yeah.
But once again, with that being said, if he gets top 4, you're in the Champions League, and trust me, man, not being in Champions League is not fun. So I think it's a tricky one, because obviously just coming from Arsene Wenger, like whenever he did enough, part of me was like, we're never gonna get rid of this guy because he's doing enough.
Yeah.
And then when he's winning the FA Cups, so you're happy, but you're like, damn, once again, like that just gives him another 2 seasons. Like they keep giving him more reasons to stay. So I get you on that point.
Yeah,
I get you.